Hey, so this video was inspired by a really wonderful client of mine. She's smart and she's very insightful. She's having a bit of a struggle, as so many people in recovery do, with the commitment side of things. And so we were having this conversation about commitment and why it's important to commit, and why if you don't commit, that's when things are going to get fucked up. And that's the really difficult part. So it reminded me of, I think that one of the reasons that when I was able to commit to something, I really full throttle, go forward and do it, is my background in horse riding. And when I was younger, I used to ride competitively as an event rider. And one thing my trainer drilled into me was that if I was going to jump a fence, I had to commit to it. No matter how scared I was, I had to commit. And one of the main reasons for that is because if you don't commit, that's when the shit is going to happen. Because if you're riding into a fence and you're doubting yourself, or you're thinking, I don't really want to do this, I don't know if I can do this, then the horse can sense that, and the horse will start to doubt and wonder what's going on, why doesn't this feel right? And then that's when you're likely to get into trouble and get hurt. And so it's really actually through not being committed that the very things that you are scared of happen. And that can be exactly the same in eating disorder recovery as well. So one of the things that most people are really scared of is that they'll gain weight, but they won't neurally rewire. And so what happens is they gain weight, but their mind stays just as fucked up and things are just as bad as they are before they even started trying. And that's one of the biggest fears. But the irony is that if you only halfway commit, which actually isn't really committing at all, because committing means fall the way, but if you don't commit, then that's much more likely to happen, because you're going to start eating and you might start gaining weight, and then you're going to start restricting again, or maybe restricting some of the time and not really doing it. And so you're not rewiring your brain's not learning not to restrict, your brain's not learning that all of the eating disorder thoughts that are there don't need to be there, because you're not teaching it, because your actions are still informing your brain that those rules need to be followed. And so what happens is you gain weight, but you're just as fucked up in your head. That's what a lot of people are scared of. And the irony is that's more likely to happen if you don't fully commit and if you don't really go for it. Whereas if you fully commit and if you go for it, and if you go for unrestricted eating and you're committed to the weight gain, then you're rewiring at the same time. And so your mental state improves as you're gaining weight, blah, 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 happily ever after. And so that commitment piece is so important. And another important part of that commitment piece is that's not the same as wanting to do it. There will be plenty of times when you don't want to do it, but committing means I'm doing it anyway. So commitment is not the same as wanting to recover. And also, being committed does not mean that you're not going to be scared anymore. No. You'll still be scared, but because you're committed, you're doing it anyway, and that's the important thing. So don't get confused thinking, oh, I have to want to do this in order to commit. No, you don't. Or, oh, I have to not be scared in order to commit. You can be as scared as you like, but if you're committed, you're still doing it. So commitment, and that's why I always say that word, you've got to commit to recovery. I don't ever say you've got to want to recover, because most of us don't when we're in that crazy anorexia mental state. You've just got to commit to it and be prepared to see it the whole way through. Commitment is key.
Stinky, I'm committed to you. I'm committed to you too, Dave. You two are just committed to grooming yourselves, aren't you? You don't really care, do you?